Hello class, welcome to Vivekananda Prabodhini. We are watching our second lesson, that is 1.2, the thief story. In part second, we will continue from our passage number 8. Anil was asleep. A beam of moonlight stepped over the balcony and fell on the bed. I sat up on the floor, considering the situation. If I took the money, I could catch the 10:30 express to Lucknow. Now, as I said in passage number 7, he decided to rob the Anil because for many days he had not robbed anybody or anything. That is why he decided to rob the Anil. Now he was thinking of his plan, that is, if I took the money, I could catch the 10:30 express to Lucknow. Slipping out of the blanket, I crept up on the bed. Now, in the process of this thinking, he crept on the bed, that is, he sat up on the bed. Anil was sleeping peacefully. He looked at Anil. Anil was sleeping peacefully. His face was clear and unlined. Even I had more marks on my face. Now, this is an important one because in Anil's mind there is no faulty feeling, or we can say there is no negative feeling about that person, about that thief. But the thief has feeling to rob the Anil. That is why Anil's face was very clear and unlined. There is no wrinkles, or Anil's face was having some kind of peace. But that thief don't have. So I had more marks on my face, though mine were mostly scars. My hand slid under the mattresses, searching for the notes. As I said, he started the process of robbing. He put his hand under the mattresses. He was searching for the notes. When I found them, I drew them out without a sound. Now carefully, after finding that notes, he just put out his hand without making any noise. Anil sighed in his sleep and turned on his side towards me. Now while making this, Anil sighed and he just turned on the other side towards the thief. I was startled and quickly crawled out of the room. For the moment he scared and he quickly crawled out of the room. Crawl means make big movement. लगेचच बाहेर पडणे किंवा लगेच निघून जाणे, पिस्टून जाणे या अर्थाने. Question number 9. When I was on the road, I began to run. As he went out on the room and he got the road, he began to run. He has feeling to if Anil started to run back from me. I had the notes on my vest, held there by a string of my pajamas. I slowed down to a walk and counted the notes. Sorry. Now after some run, he slowed down and he started to walk. And while walking, he started to count the notes. 600 rupees in 50s. Now that notes are in terms of 50 rupees. Total are 600 rupees. I could live like an oil-rich Arab for a week or two. Now he thought that he can live like an oil-rich Arab for 1 to 2 weeks, for 15 days we can say. When I reached the station, I did not stop at the ticket office. Now, this is a robber, he had a habit of not to buy the tickets. I had never bought a ticket in my life, but dashed straight to the platform. He directly went on the platform. The Lucknow Express was just moving out. When he reached there, Lucknow Express was just moving out. Train is slowly moving. The train had still to pick up speed and I should have been able to jump into one of the carriages. Now just train is slowly moving. He can easily catch the train by running towards it. But I hesitated. For some reason I can't explain. But there is some kind of unknown feeling he had got, and that is why he hesitated to catch the train. And I lost the chance to get away. And within few minutes or within few seconds, Train picked up speed and train gone away. Next passage. When the train had gone, I found myself standing alone on the deserted platform. When train is gone away, he found standing alone on a deserted platform. Deserted means nirjan, a place where no human or no animal is present. It is deserted. I had no idea where to spend the night. Now he has a big question, that is where to spend the night. I had no friends, believing that friends were the more trouble than help. Now, as I said, in the field of robbery, no one can trust nobody. That is why he had no friends. And he has a strong belief system that friends make more trouble than help. It is not true, actually. And I did not want to make anyone curious by staying at one of the small hotels near the station. Now, he didn't want to make anyone curious by staying at one for a small hotel near the station. The only person I knew really well was the man I had robbed. Sorry. Now, he realized that the only person that he can trust is the Anil. But he just robbed him. Leaving the station, I walked slowly through the bazaar. In my short career as a thief, I had made a study of men's faces when they had lost their goods. Now, as he is a robber, he as a career as a thief, he had some kind of study about the men's reaction after their loss of their goods. The greedy man showed fear. Greedy man always shows fear. The rich man shows anger. Rich person always shows anger after someone got stolen from him or them. The poor man showed acceptance. Poor man always shows acceptance and he moved on. But I knew that Anil's face when he discovered the theft would show only touch of sadness, not for the loss of money, but the loss of the trust. Now he realized that Anil was so simple person. He would feel nervousness or he will feel sad, not because of the loss of money, but because of loss of trust. Because Anil always give importance to the person, not for the money. That is why he just realized that about the Anil's behavior. Next passage. I found myself in the Maiden and sat down on the bench. Now here Maiden means it's a kind of public place. सार्वजनिक ठिकाण, बाग किंवा पटांगण वगैरे. The night was chilly. It was early November and a light drizzle added to my discomfort. Soon it was raining quite heavily. Now there was a November month and the atmosphere was some kind of a rainy season type. That is why air was cool and started to quite some rain. My shirt and pajamas stuck to my skin and a cold wind blew the rain across my face. Now in that rain there is addition of wind as well. That is why his shirt and pajamas stuck to his skin. I went back to the bazaar and sat down in the shelter of the clock tower. Now he moved from the Maiden and he walked on to the bazaar and sat down in the shelter of the clock tower. Shelter means cover किंवा आच्छादन म्हणू शकतो आपण. Clock showed midnight. That is, the time was 10 a.m. I felt for the notes. They were damp from the rain. Now he felt about the notes they just kept in the pocket. They were so drained due to rain. Next passage. Anil's money. As I said, it is Anil's money. In the morning, he would probably have given me 2 or 3 rupees to go to the cinema, but now I had it all. As a daily routine, Anil always give 2 or 3 rupees for some kind of daily work. Now we thought that if there is a simple regular life, if he couldn't rob the Anil, he would have 2 to 3 rupees to walk to the cinema. But now I had that all the money. I couldn't cook his meals. There is no need to cook for him. Run to bazaar and to learn to write whole sentences anymore. There is no need to work for daily basis or to write something. I had forgotten about them in the excitement of the theft. Now, being excited about the robbery, he had forgotten all of these things. Whole sentences I know would one day bring me more than a few hundred rupees. Now, they said by education, man can grow much faster, or in terms of positive ways, than the robbery. Now he realized that by making sentences, he could earn few hundred rupees as well, instead of robbery. It was a simple matter to steal, and sometimes just a simple to be caught. Now, to make efforts and to earn money by some positive ways, robbery is simple and easy to steal, but there is always threat, that is, it is easy to catch as well. But to be really big man, a clever and respected man was something else. But he realized that a big man or a clever man or respected man is a something else. That kind of feeling is something else. It is you always get some kind of respect. That in case of robbery, you should not get it at all. I should go back to the Anil, I told myself, if only to learn to read and write. And he thought that I should go back to the Anil and to read and write to start again. Next passage. I hurried back to the room feeling very nervous. Now he was very nervous, that is, he realized his mistake of robbery. For it is much easier to steal something than to return it undetected. Now he also realized that it is easy to steal something, but it is even more difficult to return that stealed money or stealed thing undetected to somebody. I opened the door quietly and stood in the doorway in clouded moonlight. Anil was still asleep. As he returned back to the room, Anil was still sleeping. I crept the head of the bed and my hand came with the notes. I felt his breath on my hand. I remained still for a minute. Now, while keeping money on the original position, he felt breath on the hand. He felt some kind of warm air on his hand. I remained still for a minute. Then my hand found the edge of the mattresses and slipped under it with the notes. After a few seconds, he kept that notes on the original place. I awoke late in the morning and find that Anil had already made the tea. In the morning, he woke up. He saw that Anil has already made the tea. He started his daily routine. He stretched out his hand towards me. There was a 50 rupee note between his fingers. Now Anil offered him a 50 rupees note. My heart sank. Now he felt very good as well as bad. I thought I had been discovered. Now he thought that Anil knew that he is being robbed. I made some money yesterday. Now you will be paid regularly. Now Anil showed his original behavior, or being kind, he showed his behavior. Now Anil started to pay him as a wages or salary. My spirit rose. Now this is a kind of feeling that you realize that you are a wrong person and you have made a huge mistake about the other person. But when I took the note, I saw it was still wet from the night's rain. He realized that when he took the note, he was still wet due to last rain. Today we will start writing sentences, he said. Anil said, we are going to start writing sentences. He knew. Now he realized that Anil knew about the robbery. He had been robbed. But neither his lips nor his eyes showed anything. But Anil didn't say anything, because Anil also realized that he also robbed his money, but he also returned. Now he realized about his mistake. That is why Anil didn't say anything. I smiled at Anil in my most appealing way. and the smile comes by itself without any effort. Now, last thing, when both are realized about the incident, but mostly the robber has realized about his mistake. That is why the smile comes without any effort. When you realize your mistake, the other person also feel comfortable and you also feel comfortable. That is the moral of the story. Writer is Ruskin Bond. Thank you for watching this video. Please solve the assignment which is given in a PDF file.